What's up, Headliner Nation? Chris Kennedy here with the Fantasy Headliners, and I'm back again for another week of some DFS plays for you guys. Now, week 2 was tough for all of us. I know for me personally, I lost both CMC and Saquon Barkley in the same Dynasty League. So we're on to week 3. And with that, I want to try to give you guys some plays for DFS this week, specifically over on DraftKings. Now, in weeks past, I've given you guys some plays that have been a little bit safer and also some gambles. So this week, I want to make sure that I'm giving you guys some plays that are going to be a little bit out of the ordinary. You know, some plays that you may not have thought of if you're just looking down the pricing list over on DraftKings. And the one thing that's great about DFS is that it's a new season every single week. If someone gets injured, that's okay. You can just bounce back the next week and pick up somebody that's actually healthy. Now, I want to start off with the quarterback position here, and I'm going to name off somebody that you probably wouldn't be recognizing, or at least wouldn't be expecting me to say. And that's none other than Mitchell Trubisky. That's right. I'm going with Trubisky this week because not only is he priced at just $5,700, which is one of the lowest pricing quarterbacks over on DraftKings this week, but he's going up against a Falcons defense that has been absolutely horrid in the passing game. They've allowed 386 passing yards per game, an average of almost 40 DraftKings points a game to quarterbacks, a completion rate of 78%, which isn't even the worst in the NFL, but by far it is one of the worst. And they've also allowed a touchdown rate of 6%, you guys. So Mitchell Trubisky, now I get it. He's not the sexiest name out there, but he's somebody that a lot of people probably aren't going to be playing. And this game has an over-under of 47 points. Chicago's a 3.5-point underdog. So most likely the Bears are going to be having to throw their way back into this game to keep things competitive with the Falcons. So at this price tag, I'm more than okay with playing Trubisky, especially at what should be a lower ownership. Now, we're going to head over to running back at this point because it's one of the most volatile positions in football. It's where you have most of the injuries occurring. And this week, a play that I really like is none other than rookie running back Joshua Kelly of the LA Chargers. Now, I know a lot of people might be thinking, well, what about Austin Eckler? I love Eckler, don't get me wrong, but at a really low price tag of $5,000, Kelly has seen only 3 fewer touches this season than Austin Eckler. And Justin Herbert is now starting at quarterback for the Chargers with Tyrod Taylor out with a punctured lung. And right now, I think they're going to be getting both of these running backs involved. So when you're playing in these DFS lineups, it's okay to have a lower price guy at lower ownership that has the upside of Joshua Kelly. And he's going up against a Panthers defense that's been allowing 121 rushing yards per game to running backs. Oh, and 48 DraftKings points per game to opposing running backs as well. So at $5,000, I'll take the backup running back in Joshua Kelly so that way I can spend up at other positions. Speaking of other positions, let's talk about wide receiver. Again, I'm going with another value salary saver type of guy in this point. And that's at $5,400. I'm going with Cowboys rookie receiver CeeDee Lamb. What do I love about CeeDee Lamb? Well, he's run about 81 routes so far this season, which is one of the higher rates in the league among all wide receivers. He's also seen a target share of almost 20%. And for essentially being the wide receiver 3 on a team, that's a really good rate. Another thing that I really like about CeeDee Lamb is his cornerback matchup this week. All right. He's going to be going up against Seahawks corner Ugo Amadi, who's been allowing a catch rate of 83% to wide receivers. And granted, he hasn't been targeted a lot. He's only been targeted 6 times, but he has allowed 5 catches out of those 6 targets. So CeeDee Lamb at that price tag, again, $5,400. I absolutely love the value so that you can go ahead and spend up at other positions. Speaking of spending up and getting my other picks, if you want to get those other picks, you have to make sure that you're heading over to thefantasyheadliners.com, clicking on Patreon, and signing up for the MVP package. All right, it's only $20 a month, and not only do you get access to all of my DFS content for not just the NFL, but I'm also doing NBA and golf, but you also get exclusive access to all of our articles, the Straight Chubb podcast, and also our Discord channel where you can ask any and every question that you want. And all of us over at the Fantasy Headliners will be there to answer your questions, especially if we aren't able to get to every question here on YouTube. Over on Discord, you do get that one-on-one access with us all. Now let's head over to the tight end position, and I'm going back to the well this week again, you guys. I know I let you all down with Logan Thomas last week, but I really have a good feeling about him this week. He's still priced down at $3,700, and he's facing the Cleveland Browns. They're allowing 74 receiving yards a game to tight ends. They've allowed 3 touchdowns already this season to tight ends, and they've allowed 25 DraftKings points per game to tight ends. Other thing I love about Logan Thomas, he's tied for the team lead in targets at 17, and he's actually second in the NFL among all tight ends in targets for this main slate. So at a 27% target share, this is a value that I'm absolutely loving, and it's only $3,700. So those are my 4 DraftKings plays that I really like this week. But as I mentioned earlier, make sure that you are signed up for the MVP Patreon package so that you can get all of my picks and hopefully start to see some green screens. I want to finish things up with Monkey Knife Fights. I know I've mentioned over the last couple of weeks, and every week I'd like to give you guys a little bit of a sneak preview and a free play for Monkey Knife Fight, because all you need to do is head over to monkeyknifefight.com, deposit $10, play in a $2 contest, and we'll match your deposit up to $50. So head over to the monkeyknifefight.com, use promo code HEADLINERS, capital H, and again, just a $10 deposit, play in a $2 contest, and we will match your deposit up to $50. That's all I have for this week. I do hope that week 3 is a lot healthier for your fantasy teams. I hope you're able to see some green screens, and we'll catch you next week for week 4. Have a great weekend.